Hi everyone, I'm Nathan, and I wanted to share with you my favourite Windows apps that are good enough to be Mac apps. Now I don't know if that phrase triggered you at all. Maybe you don't want Windows apps to look and feel like Mac apps in any way. But there's no denying that, to the most part, many Windows applications have lagged behind their macOS counterparts, at least in terms of user experience design. There was a poll recently on the Windows Developer Twitter account that asked people which Windows 11 feature they were most looking forward to, and the winner was rounded corners. So I think it's fair to say that most people are looking forward to a better designed Windows operating system. Now, a couple of points about these apps. None of them are made by big companies. There are big companies making decent looking applications for Windows. There are also several that really need to try harder, and I expect that they will, because there are big players like Canva bringing apps into the Windows 11 store, and I really hope that this is the start of a big surge of great looking applications in the Windows ecosystem. But to the best of my knowledge, none of these apps are created by more than a single developer or perhaps a small team as a side hustle. There are links to all of these apps and their websites and their authors in the description below. And second, all of these apps are free, although personally I think they should all be paid for. I think this is something that hopefully Microsoft will really improve in Windows 11, promoting really well designed apps and prompting users to get those apps within the Windows Store itself. It's worth noting that I didn't find any of these apps within the Windows Store. I went through the Windows Store and all their categories and top recommended apps to try and find any that might be relevant to this video, but all of these apps were found through Google searches or through recommendations from other sites. Okay, so the first app, really kind of more a suite of apps, is created by Vane Jung. He started a side project back in 2018 to design and develop 4 desktop applications, of which he's completed 3. All of them are available on Windows and Macs, and all of them are free, and all of them are excellent. The one that I want to highlight is called Pomy, and it's effectively part Pomodoro timer, part eye health app. I stare at a computer screen all day, every day, and I have started suffering for it. And I found this really helps to follow the 20-20-20 rule, which is every 20 minutes, look at least 20 meters away for 20 seconds. It's a really good habit to get into, and the app does a great job of enforcing you to follow it without being invasive. It's very easy to use, it's very nicely designed, it's simple but very effective. He's also created a quick note-taking app which works really well, and I especially like the ability to keep it on top of all open windows. You can just access it with a click of a button. And there's also an ambient sound mixer which you can use to mix different background noises together and then save and reload them as sets. It's very relaxing. I highly recommend checking those out and also taking a look at his website, which is also very well designed. The next app is from a developer called Xander Frangos, who again has developed multiple apps that you may find useful, but the one I was really excited to find was called Twinkle Tray. And it lets you set your monitor brightness via the system tray. I may get a little too enthused about this, but I have a fairly average AOC monitor, and once I got fed up of continually changing the brightness by the monitor controls, I downloaded their app to control it. And it's really slow and pretty poor. With Twinkle Tray, I can not only adjust the brightness very easily, but it will also automatically adjust the brightness at as many set times as you like throughout the day, which is great for me because I often work into the evenings. It's also tailored to work for multi-monitor setups, which I envy. So you can set a minimum and maximum brightness for each display and then set the timers for individual displays as well. As well as hotkeys to adjust, there's also a toggle to simply turn off the display. And the last really thoughtful feature, which doesn't work with all trackpads apparently, but on my machine you can hover over the tray icon and simply scroll up and down to adjust the brightness. And I now wish I could do that with the volume icon and lots of other parts of Windows as well. It's a genius bit of user interaction. The third and final app is a simple note-taking application that was actually developed by a Microsoft engineer, but nothing to do with the Windows or app development teams. He actually works on the Azure side of the business. Now, this is not a replacement for OneNote or Notion or anything like that. It's just an alternative to the standard Notepad application in Windows. And if you're anything like me and you do any development work, or you're copying and pasting content and just want to clear the formatting, well, certainly I find that I tend to open Notepad multiple times throughout the day for some sort of reason or another. But this app is definitely going to replace it for me. Everything is customizable, but for me the advantages are word wrapping with clearly defined rows shown by the numbers on the left. It does look a little bit cramped at times. I'd ideally like to be able to set the leading and tracking of the font, but I have to remind myself this isn't a place to author documents, it's just a quick text editor. The killer feature in it is tabs. Tabs on Notepad is fantastic. You can create new instances of the app if you want as well, but as someone who can quickly end up with 10 different instances of Notepad open, all for different things, this is a great option and I can't wait to use it instead. Let me know in the comments or on Twitter what other Windows apps you use that you think are up there with the ones I've highlighted here. I think that all of these apps are going to be vastly improved by the new user experience design in Windows 11, and I really hope that we get to see a whole load of new, well-designed apps on that platform soon. Thanks for watching.